Hello teachers, good afternoon po. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Hintayin ko lang, no, meron akong isang co-administrators, nasa background pa siya. Okay, yun na si Teacher Pau, no? Good afternoon, Teacher Pau.
Hello, good afternoon everyone.
Parang
Good
naka-uniform pa
afternoon.
tayo. Kakabalik lang ba natin sa
Siyempre,
first day, ano, pagbalik.
yes.
Congratulations sa Teacher Pau and good luck sa start of the school year. Kami po teachers no, isa sa mga pinakamaagang nagbukas ulit ng school year this year, no. And so we've started last May, no? Nag-start na kami ng May. So actually naka 1 month na kami into the next pandemic year. And that's
Grabe, ang
we've
aga.
yes, it's like sort of like a prep school
Ah,
year because we also started last year early. So we ended early, so we started early again. But anyway, Teacher Pao,
sorry.
good afternoon and magandang hapon sa iyo, no. And glad that you're here, no. Although alam ko busy, syempre busy ang mga admins din natin, no, doing some stuff. And again, sabi ko nga, si Teacher Pao just started this. So how was this first day, Teacher Pao?
Actually, ano pa lang naman siya, planning. So, tomorrow, yung pinaka-official, June 1.
Yeah.
June 1, but, yun. So, syempre, i-warm up mo na yung sarili mo, gigising ka na ng maaga ulit. Gising ka na ng
Yeah.
maaga, prep, tapos, dapat ready na lahat ng mga kailangan mo doon. No,
Actually,
yun.
minsan
May
nagkakaroon pa rin akong
calendar
problema
ka.
sa sa mga morning assemblies na yan, ano, syempre your clock, no, while you're at home is really a bit um challenge yung ating body clock, no, during the pandemic. Teacher pa parang ang ganda ng audio mo ngayon, ano, parang may something different ba diyan or wala pa? Hindi pa ba
Wala
nagagamit?
pa. Alam
Wala
mo
pa.
naman, hirap na hirap pa tayo diyan. Kailangan pa
But soon,
nating
ano, sana
aralin yung manual na
ma-experience na
yan.
yan. Okay?
Yes.
So,
Mm.
Teacher Pao, gusto ko lang ulit inform ang ating community what we're going to have today. And siguro some changes, no, because we did not actually expect it to be this setup, no. So again, teachers, for today, we're going to have sort of like introduction to a bootcamp actually, no. Okay? Siyempre kasi pag pinag-uusapan natin bootcamp, pahaba yan, no? It's really a process, more of like a process, no. Um, but it's really just an introduction. Okay, so we're going to introduce you today to the different special tracks of Professional Development Track. Okay, kasi usually Teacher Pau ang pinaka-popular lang, no, or mas kilala ng mga teachers natin ay yung Google Certified Educators Track. That's level 1 and level 2. Sometimes nga meron din ako mga na-encounter that they're not as aware that there's actually level 2 after level 1. Okay? And that level 2 actually opens up so much possibilities and opportunities for educators. Yan. May bisita ako. So that's what we aim today, Teacher Pao. No? We're going to introduce to our teachers today, kaya to our educators today, the different professional development tracks of Google, okay? Namely Innovator, Trainer, and Coach program. Okay? And Teacher Pao, no, initially this was supposedly a closed event, okay? Meant for the Google Certified Educators Level
Mm-mm.
2. By the way, no, congratulations,
Mm-mm.
Teacher Pao. Akma-akma to kay
Thank
Teacher
you
Pao, no,
so
kasi
much.
Teacher Pao recently pass, no, her Google Certified Educators Level 2 examination. At padami na po tayo, Teacher Pao, no? So
Yes,
far,
correct.
we have already around 20 L2s, no? So actually,
Yay!
initially, this event, no, was meant for them, like a close
Mhm.
event, Google meeting. But when I posted it in Kaagapay Teacher Support, medyo madaming nag-signified ng interest, no? Kahit yung mga L1s natin. And I realized that even if this is actually meant for L2 because you can't actually get into the Innovator Trainer or Coach program without passing your L2 examination. Okay? But I think there's value in orienting or introducing to our audience already today, to our community, that there is life after educator. There's something else, no? After Google Certified Educators examination, and you'll be surprised, no, Teacher Pau, how good, how excellent these programs are, and how life-changing. Ako personally, Teacher Pau, I am a testament to the life-changing effect of these programs. Yung Innovator Trainer. Of course, yung coach, hindi pa, no? Kasi hindi pa ako dumadaan sa coach. But we have an excellent coach with us today as we invited, no, to introduce to us the Google Certified Coach program. Okay, so
Wow,
yan yung goal
excited
natin
ako
today, 'no?
diyan.
Para ano lang, para clear lang sa ating lahat kasi baka sabihin ng mga tao, "Ah, hindi pa ako, ano 'no, certified educator level 1 or level 2 man lang." Para saan 'to? Para sa akin. So ito yung teachers 'no, para alam niyo po where you're heading. Kasi, laging sinasabi rin sa amin 'no, nung, community lead ng Philippines, Google Philippines, that, there should be like a continuous growth 'no, beyond Google Certified Educators. So yun lagi niya sinasabi, which also will be joining us later, na sana yung mga teachers natin goes beyond educator, and transition to becoming an innovator and trainer and coach. At sinasabi ko 'no, yung dream ng ating, community lead, sa Pilipinas is like, ano 'no, daunting in a way, but as well as something that will make Filipinos proud, okey, na may ganitong klase ng, goal for them. So mamaya i-she-share sa atin 'yan 'no, ng guest natin. Kaya siguro, Teacher Pao, wag nating patagalin 'no, para makapag-start na kaagad
Go.
tayo kasi tatlong program ang pagdadaanan natin ngayon. And of course, alam
Yay.
ko this will also benefit you, habang pumipili ka pa 'no. Although alam ko na yung gusto mong track 'no, pero malay mo ma-sway ka ng ating mga guests for today, who will join us today, no? Okay. So, of course, our guest for today, does not need as much, interest because they are known already. They have, already, visited and, guest no in our, program. Okay. So the first one I'm very very excited to introduce is, of course, my mentor, um, also a certified coach, certified trainer, and certified innovator. No? So she's everything. And also the GEG leader of, South Louisiana. That's, I make sure that, I qualify it as South Louisiana. Okay. Because again, of course, there's another, part of Louisiana. And, also my mentor at, the Google Certified Innovators Academy. So let us welcome, our first guest for this event, kay, Miss Bonnie Shelley.
Hi. Hi. I'm excited to
Good
be
evening,
here.
Bonnie. Yeah, good evening.
Is it okay if I
Hello.
share my screen?
Yes, sure, sure,
Okay.
Bonnie. No?
Okay. I do have some slides here. Because I want to talk about, like Franco said, that lovely introduction. But I do have all the badges. And I know like
Yes.
the word coach or like instructional coach is something that has really caught on maybe in the States. And you know,
Bonnie,
yeah,
yeah.
what you got?
For a while, Bonnie, no, before you start, because
Oh,
of course the
sorry. I'm
teachers,
jumping right in.
in
I'm
terms of
excited.
flow, we'll be having, Miss Bonnie Shade first as for the coach program, but we'll be here, because we're also going to like interact with Bonnie all throughout. But we'll
Yes.
also already welcome our second guest because, she's also I don't know, very much, acquainted with this program, so she might have like also input sharings, about this
Mhm.
program. But of course, Bonnie will be leading us, all throughout the majority of the discussion. So another, guest for tonight, will be joining us also, and also will be discussing later the trainers program, okay, the community lead, for Google Philippines, Miss Mary Manzano, who's actually very busy and just came in from a DepEd event, and we're glad no, that despite the busy schedule of Miss Mary, she's, always willing and she's always here to support us. Welcome. Good afternoon, Miss Mary.
Good afternoon, like good evening, actually, for everybody. Thank you. Thank you for welcoming me back to Kaagapay Teacher Support. I'm so happy to be back here. And I should be here more often. So, yes,
Yes.
thank you. And Bonnie is right here.
We're
And I know you're going to learn so much from Bonnie on the coach program. And I hope that inspires you to be the first certified coach. We do not have one yet in the Philippines. So, yeah, so I'm hoping that this is going to inspire one of you guys to apply to
yes,
become a certified coach.
yes.
Yay.
So, so Bonnie, no pressure because, your discussion today might lead to the first ever Filipino Google certified coach. Okay,
Oh,
so
I have no doubt. No, I mean, if this is all it takes, like it's something that's completely doable. It is. Totally, we can
okay,
make that
so,
happen.
maybe we could start with, Bonnie's discussion. So Bonnie, take it away, and, we'll just be here to support you and maybe engage with you, in a discussion later.
Yes, yes, yes. So like I said, sorry I jumped right in there, but So like I said, the word like instructional coach is like it's become more and more prevalent in the States, but it's kind of spreading international. But when I say coach, I'm talking about like somebody who works alongside of a teacher, and it's not just once. It's not maybe just a training. Like you kind of continually meet with that person and see what kind of challenges they're having, and then work with that teacher to solve them. And a lot of you do that already. Like that's not, maybe you might not call it coaching, but you call it something else. But when I'm talking about like coaching, that's more what I'm referring to, like a repeated cycle with teachers. So the Google, certified coach program is completely doable. And I feel like it benefited me a lot. Each process is different. Innovator has its own benefits. Trainer has its own, but the coach is one of the few programs that does have like a whole curriculum on its own. So here's my information. My name is Bonnie Chalette. I work in the East Baton Rouge Parish School System, down in the very bottom of Louisiana. I'm one of the co-founders of the Global GEG. I run my local GEG, and there's my contact information. So make sure if you have any questions about this, reach out to me. I also run a group about coaching called EC Open Chat. And I can show you that site. And our whole, goal is to help more people become coaches. So like Franco said, I have all the badges. And I've done all the Google programs. And like I said, I really think this one benefited me a little different. And that like it's a curriculum, and I learned from the process instead of me proving that I knew it already, if that makes sense. So your idea of becoming a coach is focused around transformation. Like how can you work with teachers to like transform their teaching? Like I said, and using technology in impactful ways, and using like a research base, not just jumping in and trying to think about like a structured way to offer support. So if anybody is already working on the coach curriculum, if you're working, there is a short skills assessment. Whichever number you are, you can go ahead and drop it in the chat. So I know if anybody's already working on our coach curriculum or your portfolio. Franco, are you already working on your curriculum? Because you should be.
Yes, Bonnie, I am, but it takes a little time too. But I'm taking the steps one at a time right now. But
That
I'm
is
getting there. Hopefully.
awesome. But yeah, so you have different options. Like I said, you start with the curriculum. There is a short skills assessment. It's not anything too brutal. It's really based on that curriculum. You do have to be level 1 and level 2 certified. And like for Innovator, you just have to be level 2. You do have to be level 1 and level 2. You have to have both of them. And then if you have to submit a portfolio, and I'm going to give you examples of that as well. So right here, I can drop the link for my slides in the chat as well. But the link to access these slides is right here, bit.ly/EBR coach. That's my district name. And I did make a short video of this on my YouTube channel as well. I already walked through this if anybody needs to like do it later. But yeah, you just type in bit.ly/EBR coach, and it'll take you right to these slides. So right here, let's start with the curriculum. The curriculum is on the Google for Education Teacher Center. You need to use like the login you're going to use to apply, because you do have to complete this curriculum to get certified. And it is all like linked together. I know this is different than all the other processes, but you can see right here, they have a really detailed coach program curriculum where you go through. There are tons of resources built in here. And that's something that really surprised me when I did it. Like there are tons of resources that Google put in this curriculum that you can use to kind of advance your coaching skills. So even if you're not already a coach, if you want to learn like what generally the people in those roles do, this is a great place to start. So you walk through, and I mean, it's not a fast process. It takes time. Like Franco said, it does take time. And there is a skills assessment right here. It's like I said, it's really just the curriculum. It's just to make a little bit of accountability. You walk through it, you absorbed it, and you can retake it if you don't get it the first time. So don't worry, no pressure. There's also an optional book study on courageous adventures. That's optional, but it is really beneficial. It's a really good book by Jenny McGarrah. And it's just really, it's one of those books. It's just really, really helpful for educators. I really liked the process of the book study. And right here, it has some guidance on reading the book and just what you should be paying attention to. All right. Are there anybody have any questions? If I'm missing anything, make sure to let me know. Franco, please, please, please. All right. So step 1 is to finish the coaching curriculum. That is always the step 1. Start there. It's such a good guide. Like I said, it was really beneficial to me. It talks about a lot of relationship building strategies, building trust with teachers, because teachers are often nervous to let somebody just come into their classroom and impact their teaching. So it's very important to build trust with teachers. You have to let administrators know that this is a confidential relationship. You're not going to go back to the principal every time and say, this is what she's doing wrong. And there are lots of different ways to, like I said, build that trust. Ensure teachers are want to work with you, want to work on this process with you, and make sure you have all the stakeholders involved. Once you walk through that curriculum, then you take a skills assessment, and it's on this same platform. And like I showed you, it's right in the curriculum. I very much like this platform that Google has all this in. I liked it's I don't know, anybody's taking online courses, very organized way to do it. I really like it. Yeah, while it's all in the same platform, you will take a screenshot of your certificate once you pass it. And that'll just be part of your portfolio. You do have to become level 1, level 2 certified. Most of the time I have to give people information on this, on how to become level 1 or level 2. But you guys already have a wonderful support system here in the Philippines, for getting level 1 and level 2 certified. So if you're here, you know about that. But if you do need more information, but this is where you would go to take your level 1 or level 2. Like I said, you do have to be both to be a coach. But you'd want to be both to get teachers to trust you, that you could help their class transform using technology. And then the last thing you have to do is submit a portfolio. And do not be overwhelmed by this. You want to make sure you put together some great artifacts, but I've seen people they were making all of these things, and that's not necessarily what you want to do. You want to show that you're doing these things. So think about the portfolio. Here is an example right here. These are some of the things I used. You have to have a letter of recommendation from an administrator. So find somebody that you've worked with that they'll write you a nice letter of recommendation. You have to have your level 1 and level 2 certificates. I have a trainer certificate, but that was not necessary for this. And so right here, I put a picture of my calendar, and all the coaching, I was doing, all of my cycles, all my schools that I was working with. I work with quite a lot of schools. So, like I said, I put my calendar in here. Here's a picture of my coach assessment. And then you also have to make a video, and don't think anything crazy about your video. I've seen people, one of my friend of mine, she filmed herself, but she had a Jamboard up and she kind of interacted with her different ideas, and it's about 5 minutes long. And you want to talk about your experience with the coaching cycle and working with teachers, and at least one example of how you've used coaching and how it worked. I just used some very simple slides just to keep me on track. But like I just had my introduction personally, and I'm not saying mine is the best, but I use Loom and I put my big circle right here so I could talk. And then this is, once you go through the curriculum, it's really focused on this DLP coaching model. That this is the core of the coaching curriculum. So I had this here. So I talked about one time where I walked through this with a teacher, and it is a cycle. You start with identifying and understanding the challenge, which is the hard part, right? Teachers might say, I need support with classroom management. You know, my kids are just bouncing off the walls. And so you look at that problem, and maybe you need, deep down, what you need is support with student engagement or assessment, or maybe targeted, targeting students specifically on their different levels. And from there, you investigate the problem, like how you could solve it, what are some solutions, select some strategies, and the curriculum and the book have some really great strategies for working with teachers. Try it out, implement it, and reflect. And you just go in that cycle. So I just talked about one time where I worked with a teacher and we did this. It was like I said, I filmed myself. I get really stressed when I record. So like I have to have something because I'll get edgy. And then, you wrap it up. Now, one thing that I noticed is you have to submit your video as a file. You don't upload it to YouTube. So you need to record it. However you record it, you need to make sure you have like the actual file, because you just submit it in a Google form. And I just took some tweets on here. This is one of my, some of the teachers I worked with. I picked one of these. This is Judy Kim. I work with some people on this. But like this is an example. I worked with a teacher. She wanted to work on some things, like it's not just teachers who are struggling. This teacher wanted to work on like building out, using more like virtual reality with our class. And so we thought about some strategies for that. And so we were using Google Expeditions for a while. All right, Frank, I'm going to take a breath. Frank, is anything I need to talk about? Any comments you have?
So far, I started going through the coach program, and it's really the 5-step model that really struck me right there, which I really like. And plus the idea that the entire coaching program is actually based from, if I'm not mistaken, Miss Mary, no, tsaka, and Bonnie, it's actually based from a well-researched program, okay, called the DLP, or
Yeah.
which was the basis of all the things that they have like implemented in the coach program. Although it's a little bit lengthy, no? That's how I compare it to to the trainers and the innovators application process. Okay? Although I think it's because for innovator and trainers, I already have the artifacts. Okay? But for the coaching program, it actually demands something else, because it demands interaction with one-to-one interaction, or at least like one to two, 1 to 3, but not really the big ones that I've been doing, no, in terms like giving webinars or training sessions. And plus, it demands sort of like a long-term engagement with teachers. No, that's how I experienced so far the coaching program. But I really like the curriculum. I'm almost like at 70% of the curriculum, almost there. So hopefully I get to finish and submit my artifacts when within the week. But thank you so much for Bonnie, for that. Teacher Pao, do you have like comments, questions? Maybe you'd like to ask to Bonnie. Bonnie, Teacher Pao just recently passed his L2, her at L2, and she's already thinking about track. Although I already know by heart, okay, which track she's trying to and gunning for, but I think she may be swayed already. What do you think, Teacher Pao?
No, this is the track I'm trying to gain. This one. But I think if you're a coach, if you're a certified coach, you have to work with schools, right? It's a need. It's a need for you to become a coach, or no.
Well, I don't work like at a school. I work at the district level. So I work with
But
schools,
you
but I am not located at a single school.
all right, all right. Okay, okay. So that you can actually build your portfolio in that.
Hmm.
Is that how I understand it? You have to work with certain individuals or a
Yeah,
group?
it's more
Is
like
that
a
it? Yeah.
a repeat kind of almost training sessions, if you will. Like if you have standing meetings with people where they reflect, because that reflection piece is probably most important. Like, did this work and why did it work? Or did this not work and why did it? It's just maybe that repeated interaction that's different than from trainer.
All right, all right. I
That's
get it
true. I
now.
just think that coaches are a lot more invested with the people that they work with, because when you're a trainer, it's more of a one to many kind of situation, and when you're a
Mm-hmm.
coach, it's a one to one situation. But you are invested in their growth, in their
Yes.
improvement. You're invested in that, and I really think that the Innovator program is kind of linked to that. In that, innovators always have mentors and coaches. I've
Mm-hmm.
always felt that every single mentor and every single coach in the Innovator program should go through the certified coach program, because it's going to be so helpful for them once they get into the position of mentoring other innovators, or coaching them through their projects, coaching them through their struggles and their difficulties with their goals. So yeah, it's all linked together. It's all one big family.
Agree to that. No,
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why Bonnie is such a good mentor because she also
Yeah,
went through
look how you
the coach program, right?
love it.
Um, and again, trying to always make sure that I make Bonnie proud as her mentee,
Sure.
and doing my
Colleagues,
best, Bonnie. I hope that
colleagues.
been making you proud. But Bonnie, in terms of like the length of the preparation, okay, because if we're going to look at the curriculum, it really takes a year to record the artifacts, to go through the process, okay. But can you actually use like retro data, for example, something that you do not actually implement while you're going through the curriculum, because that's the
Yeah.
suggested process, that you, while you're going through the curriculum, you're actually implementing and collecting artifacts along the way. But what if you have artifacts prior to the curriculum, the time that you're taking the curriculum, can that be used?
Yeah, I mean, I did that. I
Mm.
hope the official answer isn't no, because yeah, I already had things, and you might have more than you realize. Like I said, one of my artifacts was like a tweet from me working with a teacher. As like that evidence. Like this was somebody I worked with. Um, but yeah, so that it can be in one of your artifacts can be just in see, this is me working with a different teacher on, like I said, working on really like bringing her work to life. But yeah, it might be something you already have, or like the start of that. Like, hey, I started working with a teacher. This is where we got, and then we started doing like more structured coaching things. You'd probably be like you probably be surprised that you have more than you think. I think the curriculum too, though, if you don't have anything, if you're starting from scratch, if you've never worked with a teacher one-on-one, um, the curriculum is a great place to start, because it starts from the beginning, like how to build that relationship. They do something called a gripe jam. Super cute. It's about like, have every put all their problems and then kind of move them around in a matrix. It's a very innovatory activity. And figure out like what is the core of their problem, or what are their main two problems. And picking that, and that's what we're gonna work on. But yeah, it's the artifacts seem daunting. But if you really take a step back, a lot of people have things, even if it's just like your co-teacher, or something, or just somebody, maybe not co-teacher, but somebody at your school that is always you're working with. Maybe not necessarily formally. The coach program kind of guides you into making that formal and how you can do it better.
Now it's really about I like the idea of building relationships. And maybe this is the
Hmm.
reason why Teacher Pau is targeting this one. Teacher Pau, is that the actual reason?
Yeah,
I
I think so.
Been looking,
I
Bonnie,
think,
no,
yes.
teacher
Looking
Pao is
forward
looking
to.
for a relationship na this year, a romantic
Yeah.
relationship. So that's teacher
Oh
Pao,
my
that's not
goodness.
allowed. Okay, when we're coaching someone, it should not be a romantic one, or else it's going to be unethical. It's going to be very, very complicated. Okay,
Correct.
yes.
Correct.
No,
But
so
yeah, you can see right here. This is where it's talking about. It talks about like things you don't necessarily maybe
yes, the
talk in other
bright.
places, like bright spots, enthusiasm. Building. This is the whole part is about building those relationships. And yeah, that's a huge part of it.
Yeah, it keeps reminding me of this. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but they said this is in Filipino. Pag walang kwento, walang kwenta. And it means that if there's no story, there's no value. So
Oh,
you need
that's
to
so
find
good.
that story. It's just that it's a fun twist of the word. You know, it's cuento for story and cuenta for value. So pag walang kwento, walang kwenta. You need to find that story. And that's what you run with, like with with something like this. You have to have a reason for doing this too. It should not just be because, oh, I want to have this badge. No, because it's a lot of
Yeah.
work. It's a lot of work. Once you commit to this, you commit not just to you and your own growth, but to the growth of other people around you.
And
And
I think, yeah, go ahead, Bonnie.
I get the badge hunting. It is nice to have like a badge at the to culminate an activity. Clearly, I have my share, but if you're not going to use this, like if this is not something you plan to use in the future, you're kind of wasting your own time. That's the only time it's not beneficial. That if you're just doing it to just get the badge,
The badge.
so you want to make sure that you're using this later.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed,
it's
no,
a lot of
agree on
work.
that. Yes, and I
It's
think Miss Mary and Bonnie, no, and Teacher Pao, it also is true for all, no, for the innovators, for the trainers program, as well as to the coach program, no. And I think there's nothing wrong about like collecting badges. I think that's for especially if we're talking about Filipino culture. Filipinos, most especially, are very fond of collecting evidences of success. But again, success could go beyond the badges, no, and
Yeah.
your certification. So make sure you use it. So whatever you get into special track, innovator, trainer, or coach, make sure that you get to use it and expand your influence other people as well to becoming a certified innovator, trainer, or a coach. Yeah. Hey, so thank you, Bonnie, for walking us through in the about the coach program. We'll have a panel discussion later, but we'll just park for a while the discussion for that, and we'll proceed to the next one, which is on the Innovators program. And we have a very, very special guest for this one, okay? Someone that you haven't really met, no? Me. I will be discussing the innovators program. All the teachers know, just a disclaimer, no, we still don't have news yet on the entire innovators program. We'll have to wait, of course. I'll be sharing you the link later where to get the news on when the application, or will there be an application for this year, okay? But for now, we can't really share any details about that, okay? But what I'm going to share now is my experience, okay? As a member of the cohort BIA 20, we are a special batch. Okay? We are the first ever online batch because usually the Innovators Academy happen in a 3-day event now based on region. Based on what I've read, no, because I haven't experienced the regionalized setting. But before the pandemic, it actually happens per region. So it happens in APAC and other regions of by Google. Okay. And that's what I did not experience. Yeah, that 3-day event. I would have not. No. I think we're going to request that BIA 20 meetup soon in a face-to-face setup. But again, but still, no, I went through a very rigorous, yeah, very enjoyable and I don't know, fun-filled and of course, no, learning-filled experience with the BIA 20 cohort of the Innovators Academy. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. My experience, of course, the steps, what you're going to need to go through. Our guests as well here are both innovators, okay? So they will also have some input and some sharing later. And maybe they can correct me in some of the things I'm going to say. But it's based on my experience. That's a disclaimer. Okay. And again, I experienced it in a very different setup. Okay, so okay, first I am part of the VIA 20. That's the online virtual innovators academy batch 20. Okay, I was our program went from August to October. That's a very long program compared to the 3 days because again, we don't meet every time. No? There's a scheduled meetings per region based on actually language. No, you have Spanish and the English sessions, okay, where you can attend, and of course I attended the Spanish sessions. That's English sessions for the innovator scam. Okay. And once you become part of the Innovators Academy, you'll be grouped into smaller groups, okay, which will become your sort of like your small group for the small group sharing, and also you will be assigned to a particular coach, mentor for the sorry coach for the Innovators Academy. And I belong to our group was called the Curious Creatures by Chris Hart. Okay? We were mentored and coached by Chris Hart. And of course, I was with five more other innovators in our class. Okay? And so that's basically how it went. And of course, the most memorable, no, if I'm going to be honest about the most important and memorable experience that I've had in the Innovators Academy is to go through an intensive design thinking sessions. Okay? Because that's the heart of the Innovators Academy, the design thinking. You'll be uh, I don't know, thrown into different design thinking sessions. Some are nerve-wracking, some are really very there's a high pressure on creating designs and coming up with ideas. But all the sessions were really awesome in terms of like output and also input. Okay. But that's the backbone of the Innovators Academy on applying the ideas and principles of the design thinking. Of course, since we're talking about Innovators project in the Innovators program, that's actually going to be very helpful and actually helped me in polishing my project, which I launched. No, after the program, I launched the Co-Teach program, which I still run today. Okay, by the Kaagapay Teacher Support. So my program was on delivering teacher-centered professional development activities na via using a Google form that collects information in order to customize the different training that teachers receive for their schools. Okay, that has been my program. After that, okay. So glad that I was able to polish it and actually implement it. So let's now go to the actual program. So what is the Innovator program? Okay. So the Innovator program is the Google for Education Certified Innovator program, recognizes and supports top educators who are excited to grow professionally, advocate for impactful technology, and innovate to improve classrooms, schools, and local communities. So it's all about solving problems, okay, dealing with problems, okay, making solutions, or creating solutions in order to address community problems, and hopefully, of course, to improve your communities. Okay, so it's all about the use of impactful technology, use of innovative ideas or processes, and I'll always have shared by Miss Mary to me many many of those that are already create trailblazing in Google are actually coming from the Innovators Academy. No? But I'm not saying that it's exclusive. But yes, indeed, no, if I look at those that are already trailblazing, leading the different programs no, of Google, they're actually from the Google for Education Certified Innovator. But of course, no, they're not trailblazing, but because they are from the innovators, it's because they actually embrace the entire program, embrace design thinking, and actually applied it. Because again, if you just stop with a certification and the badge, nothing really happens right there. Okay? It's really stuck up in your file folders or in your forms, okay? But it won't actually make an impact. So that's something that we have to remember. And of course, the Google for Education Innovator program engages the creative minds and problem solvers. Okay, so these are people that actually are already have projects in mind, or are constantly engaging the different problems in their communities, and constantly coming up with solutions, coming up with different ideas in order to make things better. Okay, of course, um, even if things are working, there will always be ways to make things work better. Okay. Although we believe in the saying that if it's not broken, don't fix it. But sometimes, if it's not broken, we still need to fix it. We still need to make it better. Okay, so it's all about problem solvers. Okay? So I become a certified innovator. Okay, so there are a couple of things. I lifted this from the innovators page. Okay, so the first one is you can launch a transformative project. Okay, not that you can't actually launch, without the innovators program, but I think and I believe, firmly and personally, that going through the innovators program will polish your program to the tiny details so that it would actually work. Okay. And again, applying the concepts and principles of the design thinking would actually make your program really better. Plus, it will make sure that it's going to become a user friendly, user centered program that you can actually implement in your own communities. Plus, having interacted with other innovators or classmates in your batch, okay, you would actually no, find a lot of other ideas that you would have never thought of otherwise. Or sometimes you would actually experience a pivoting of your program. There have already been so many who have gone to the Innovators program having this project, but midway of the Innovators program pivoted their program because they found something else, something much better, something much more focused, and maybe a better solution to the problems they're encountering. Or sometimes even the problem itself. No, they realize it's not the problem I'm focusing on. Even the idea of identifying a problem is actually something that the innovators program will also help you and guide you, because sometimes what we think is the problem is actually not the problem. Sometimes it's the like surface level, and sometimes actually there's a root cause of those problems, and that's what we have to go through and we have to actually deal with. And that's what you're going to have after the innovators program. Of course, you're also going to amplify your influence. Okay, so coming up with solutions, okay, and a project afterwards, okay, you'll be able to actually make your influence better, influencing others, especially solving problems in your communities. And plus, once you become an innovator, a certified innovator, you can actually start also mentoring in a way your teachers from your school. Okay, um, on using different tools, no, in creating solutions as well. Okay. And of course, the last one is accelerating personal growth. This is a on a very personal level. The support of the Innovators program, because it's not just the after the academy, it's done. Okay? You're going to actually be part of a community. You're going to receive an exclusive training, okay, which we also always receive from email. You're actually sometimes going to be very drowned with so many emails from the innovators support, because there's so much resources, so much training programs for the innovators after the program itself. Okay? And it's a continuous process of growth after the innovators academy, and you'll be just simply be awed and amazed with this much so much resources. Okay? And sometimes you don't even know where to put these resources because it's too many and it's overwhelming. But you'll find definitely make use of these resources. Okay? And plus again, meeting other innovators. Okay? Again, I personally met Bonnie after the Innovators Academy. It would have not been possible if I'm not part of the Innovators Academy. I don't know if Miss Mary will ever give attention. Yes, kidding. If I met from the Innovators Academy. Yes, kidding, Miss Mary. I know Miss Mary is such a, I don't know, very, very people person kasi si Miss Mary. Just kidding. Okay, so what are the steps to be part of the innovator program? Okay, so the first one is you'll have to find an academy in your region. But again, this in this case, again there are no news yet. Okay, but just like ours, I did not need to find an innovator in my region because it happened online. So we were actually just one massive group of innovators as a batch. Okay, so that's VIA 20. But prior to that, no, prior to the pandemic, it's actually based on region. Because again, they're considering time zone, they're considering language as well in designing or designing the sessions, of course. Okay, so the first one. Okay, second one is you'll have to complete your required course and requirements. Okay, there are two certifications required, just like in the coach program. You're required to be a Google certified level one. Okay, and I'm glad there are a lot already. Through the efforts of our Google for the education partners in the Philippines, Miss Mary Manzano, DepEd as well. I think we have at least I think that's last year, Miss Mary, if I'm not mistaken. We had around 1,500 from the DepEd side alone for the Google Certified Educators Level 1. Okay? And through the help of Miss
That's the
Mary,
last quarter. Yeah, this just last
yes,
quarter.
last quarter. So just imagine. So we have a lot. Okay? And of course, no, Miss Mary, together with the Google for Education partner in the Philippines, are also working for the, in a way, conversion, okay, of this L1s to L2. So, and of course, now after L2, that's going to be where it's going to open up opportunities for the special tracks, like the coach program, innovators, and later on, Miss Mary will be talking about the trainers program. Okay. And of course, you'll have to identify a challenge to solve in education. Okay? So that's going to be the heart of your application. Okay? So you're also going to show them a video, okay, or create a video, just like what Bonnie shared earlier. You also have to create a video to, in a way, present, no, pitch your problem and how do you plan to solve it. But again, teachers know that's not yet like set on stone, okay? Because that's actually what you're going to polish, no, throughout the Innovators Academy. To look at your problem again, to look at your solution. It's really the right solution or the most appropriate, effective solution for that problem. Okay? Let me share with you my innovator speech. But again, this is like last year. Okay, so very very raw. Okay, I'm not yet into like in terms of like delivery. But I hope that you appreciate. I'm going to show my innovators video application.
Hello, I'm Franco Nicolo P. Adun. I'm a teacher at Xavier School and a lecturer at the Ateneo de Manila University. I'm applying to be a Google Certified Innovator for the following reasons. I'm able to build a community using the Agape Teacher Support page. I was able to bring teachers together to help each other in easing into online distance learning. Also, I was able to put up a channel that provides content for teachers to help them gain skills and use Google for education tools. Likewise, I'm also the newly nominated and appointed Google Educators Group as of San Juan leader. So I'll be leading Google Educators in my city. Also, we were providing webinars for teachers to help them gain more skills and become more comfortable to online distance learning. Right now, we have upcoming projects to address the challenge in accessibility to resources for teachers. So we are creating the Kaagapay shared folder. It will become a community folder for teachers to access the resources. And for those who are printing their modules, we are raising funds in order to bring to buy them printers and printing materials for their modules. Given this, I think that I'm able to innovate and trailblaze in education and influence others to affect change in our community. Thank you.
So there it is. I'm still like a very shy person back then. Okay? Like unlike right now, I'm very thick-skinned person when facing the camera. That's my innovators video application, and of course, no, there's also a separate one towards the end. You'll have to do the innovators project pitch where you'll now present the polished project afterwards, and you'll see the difference when you compare the growth over time, and it's really like an overwhelming experience. Okay, this is the first program I entered into. This is before I even entered the trainers program. I took first the innovators program. Okay, and again, also special shout out and mention to Miss Jet Demihilio. one of the Google certified educators well in the Philippines, who have influenced me no, to push for the Innovators program. She actually was the one who gave me an idea. I did not have any idea about the Google certified Innovators program until she mentioned it to me, and she said you might be interested in pursuing the Innovators program. Okay. And of course, the last one is to apply before the next deadline. Okay, so this is where you can apply, teachers. Um, okay, I'll send the link later, but this the link you can use to apply for the Google Certified Innovators Academy. And again, there's still no news yet. What's going to be set up, when it's going to be offered again. But don't miss the deadline because unlike other programs like the trainers, the coaching program is also an ongoing program. But the Innovators is just a once a year program. Okay, so if you miss the deadline of the application, you'll have to wait another year to be able to apply for it. Okay. So again, we'll share the application later on. Okay. Okay. So become an innovator and change your communities. I think that's the most important most important message that or reminder to all of us that as we enter or if we decide to become an innovator, it's all about because there's that um, uh, uh, um, uh, inner motivation to actually bring for change to your communities. Because okay, with your innovations, you'll definitely make life much better for the people around you or in your communities. Okay, so thanks, teachers, and I hope that was able to clarify the Innovators program you, and I hope that you do apply to the Innovators program. Okay, so Miss Mary, Bonnie, Teacher Pau, do you have questions? Okay. Although you, you already know what the Innovator program is, but you might like, want to add something?
Yeah, I wish you could have experienced the live one,
Mhm.
like the face to face one. There's a certain level of energy that you get when you put together a whole group of people that
Mhm.
are so inspired and so helpful. And here's the thing about the Innovator program. I noticed that a lot of the people who apply in the Innovator program already have a certain sphere of influence in their own communities, in their own schools, or they have this pressing problem that they just won't keep them, that just won't let them sleep. And that's really something that I find very much in common with everybody there. And if you put all of these people together in one room, can you just imagine the kind of brainstorming that you're gonna get, the level of ideation that you get out of just being there. And I actually attend the Energizer like before. Now there is an Innovator Energizer pre-COVID where a graduated an innovator like us can attend an Energizer that is nearby, or if you want to travel and see the other innovators or meet the other innovators in other batches, right? You can see them in an Energizer event, and that Energizer event happens after an Innovator Academy, and that's really so good because you get to meet the people that you've idolized on Twitter. That's really what it's all about for me. And I used to attend every single one of them, like year on year. I would find a way to travel to wherever, to the nearest Energizer I could find, and travel there. And the reason is every Energizer leaves me with that same level of inspiration that I just don't get from anywhere. I don't know about you, but I can't
Well,
describe the Innovator Academy. I just can't. It
I
is
might have
the
been I might have been starstruck if I've seen Miss Mary in the Innovators. I might have asked the
no.
autograph of Miss Mary. Miss Mary, one question. Because I have a question to Bonnie in a while. Miss Mary, because it's always been a question of some who are interested in innovators. Is the innovators like if you are invited and you go to like example like APAC, are the travel expenses paid or you'll have to shoulder it?
Oh, you have to
No, still
shoulder
have to
it.
shoulder it.
Even the Energizer, you have to pay for it. That's why I'm saying that, considering that I have to pay for it, right? I remember
Yeah.
traveling to Australia for the Energizer, traveling to Singapore for the Energizer, and I would really just travel and spend for it because believe me, there is that thing that you get there that you cannot get elsewhere. It's very difficult to explain, because it's hard to find such a group of individuals that are talented and are geared towards kind of the same purpose, which is solving educational problems. Like, and as a whole, together, individually, it's an amazing experience. And I really hope that if that is something that you're passionate about, and you're passionate about solving something in your own communities or your own schools, you got a gun for this.
I have
Well,
two
Is
things
there,
real quick.
yeah.
One, I'm going to defend the virtual academy. I know it's different, but I did notice that a lot of people like were ready to launch. Like we still have people from Singapore. They're like, oh, I had to pivot. You know, I'm still
yeah,
working on mine. I feel like the virtual academy people were ready to launch.
that's true.
More necessarily than what I've seen. I don't have data on that, but I did find that, you know, I know it's different, but I think it has its perks. You know, people don't have to pay to travel, and I feel like they were like ready to launch their project. And then two, like there's a lot of help out there with your application. Like there are groups that meet that work on their applications. People will give you feedback. If you follow like the hashtag Google EI, like just all of the people on there, you could, I mean, I've had people send their, and I'm not saying I'm the best at giving feedback, but I'll pass it on to people. You know, that'll look at your application, be like, hey, take this out. Hey, this is great, you know. So definitely like think about that if you're applying. Like there's help out there.
Right. So just follow the hashtag Google EI. That's our hashtag. Follow Google EI. And if you're not on Twitter yet, please be on Twitter, because a lot of our global certified innovators are there. I know that for Philippines, Facebook is key. Everybody just is on Facebook. But yeah, if you've never been to Twitter and you'd like to speak with a lot of these global innovators, then please just follow hashtag Google EI. You'll find so many ideas there. Like what Bonnie said, you can find help as well from folks when you're applying. And even, applying as a coach, applying as an innovator, applying as a trainer. It doesn't just apply to innovator. You can find somebody that can review your video, help you with your case study. Like, you can get the help that you need from there. The community is a very helpful community. And that's one thing that changes I think it changes a lot of lives as well for innovators. Once you become a member of this community, it just supercharges your influence, just supercharges your projects. And it's just, you get this whole world of help that you were never able to access before. So I'm pretty sure that you're all now fired up.
I didn't think I was gonna get in. If I get in, you can do it. I pushed the button, like assuming I wouldn't. I was like, well, I did it, you know.
Yeah.
Super pack.
So.
But I have a question to Bonnie because I'm interested. I've heard about her story in the Innovators program because if I'm not mistaken, Bonnie, your initial project was not because the GEG, Global
It had
GEG
nothing to do
became
with
your
no, it's completely different. And
So
it was a
it's-
problem
so
that I still want to revisit. It was about data, and I don't know. I got caught up going in a different direction. But no, you can pivot your project, and in fact, the Google Innovator, Academy really like supports you in doing that, in pivoting and finding your own pattern, and they have this fail bell that I still don't care for. I'm not on board with fail bell, but they ring it like celebrate your failures, and because that means you're trying and all this stuff. So yeah, no, I completely changed mine.
Yes, exactly.
And
Actually,
yeah, go ahead.
go Miss Mary.
No, just don't be limited to one project. I mean, there's lots of
Yeah.
problems out there. If you have more problems to solve and more solutions in your head, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Just keep doing that, because I never stopped as well. I do love problems. I'm excited about them. and I'm one of those freaky people that get excited when they have a problem.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
That's
it gives you a reason to like wake up in the morning and like, okay, I got something to solve today.
That's a
Like,
very, very positive, very positive outlook from Miss Mary. Thank you, Miss Mary, for that. I really like,
I need food,
especially.
but I need food to do it.
But again, I think Bonnie
Twins.
shared with us the idea of making it a little. Of course, when you enter the Innovators Academy, you can't be like fixed on the problem itself and the solution that you have already, because that's going to hurt your growth in the Innovators Academy. Again, it's all about getting in there, getting dirty, getting messy, sometimes again, as Bonnie shared with us, that you have somehow like to back out for your original plan and to pursue something else, and see for it for yourself, no, to discover something beyond what you thought is possible and what you thought would be your direction for the Innovators Academy. So just like allow yourselves to learn, to grow with others, because again, as mentioned by Miss Mary, you're going to meet a lot of brilliant people in the Innovators Academy, and I personally experienced that. Although it's a little bit intimidating in a way sometimes, that's because the way they throw ideas sometimes, you'll be amazed how they come up with this wonderful random ideas in like 5 minutes or 10. Because sometimes we will be given like an exercise, like there's a problem, think of a solution for like 5 minutes, or like brainstorm. Okay? And then this the members of our group will like come up with this very interesting ideas in a matter of time. Okay,
It's intense. It's intense.
intense indeed, intense. But that
Yeah.
5 minute, 3 minute challenge of design thinking is like uh yeah, thank you for Miss Mary for the Teacher Pao, you have question, or are you being swayed
No,
out of
I'm
the coaching program?
I am
Are you
not.
planted already in the coaching program?
So you
I'm
can nominate
actually
people. So I'm going to go ahead and nominate Teacher Powell.
Yay!
Go
Thank you,
ahead.
Bonnie. I'm actually going to do that, but it would be much like with authority if you're going to be the one to nominate her. Yes, you can actually nominate
Yep.
yourselves, apply for yourselves, or someone can actually nominate for you. Okay? And
Hmm.
actually, from our list of Google Certified Educators Level 2, I already have so many people um, who are qualified for this program. But I'll have to wait and I'll have to respect them because many of them are actually gunning for our third special track, which will be discussed with us and will be shared with us by no other than our community lead in the Philippines for Google, Miss Mary Manzano. So let's hear from Miss Mary
Thank
about
you.
Google for Education Certified Trainer.
All right. That's thank you. So I'm just gonna correct my title right there. It's education lead. Community is one of my responsibilities though. So there. I know that we have a different community person here. So, but for all those people, I know I've heard that some of you want to be Google certified trainers, and I'm excited about it. Super excited about it because that is one of my major goals for the year is to make sure, and for the public school teachers that we have, is to make sure that every single division in every school's division in the Philippines must have a Google certified trainer. It is a goal because I don't know if Bonnie's aware, but Bonnie, we just activated 22 million Google accounts for students,
Crazy. So
and
many.
we need, yeah, we need help. We need people to do it that would teach teachers that would be willing to do it, and the Google Certified Trainer program is it. So let me share my screen. Let's see here. There you go. Okay, so the Google Certified Trainer program is really very simple. It's just five-step process, like what you have in the coach program as well. You need to make sure that you have your level one certificate ready. You have your level two certificate. Both are required to become a certified trainer. And then you have to take a third exam, which is the trainer skills assessment, which is it says 25 questions here, but I know that it's been reduced to 20 questions. And then a 3-minute video where 1 minute is introducing yourself and 2 minutes to demo the kind of teaching that you can do or the training style that you have. And finally, you need to submit a case study and 5 training engagements. So for those people who are already L2s, you have to get cracking on starting your trainings as early as now before you even become a Google certified trainer. So let just move on. So for your level one certificate, I know that most of you would already be level one certified, and if not,
Mhm.
then you need to make sure that you have this because it will be asked, and you have to be ready to upload your certificate when you apply. So same with our level two certificate. So note that both L1 and L2 are valid for 3 years from the date of issue. So if you are looking to go to the different programs that we have in Google, which is a certified trainer coach, and innovator, you need to make sure that you do that within the 3-year validity of your L1 and L2 certificate. Otherwise, you're going to have to retake them because they won't be valid anymore. Okay, so if you've already taken your L1, L2 within the last 3 years, then now is your chance, right? So what we do is we actually review the trainer uh, applications every month. So just make sure that you just submit it when you're ready. They said that there's no real ready day. So make sure that you get eyes on it, get somebody's eyes on it if you're not sure about anything that you're going to submit. But first, get your requirements out, L1, L2, and then next would be the trainer skills assessment. The trainer skills assessment is also paid. I saw that there is a question there on the comment section where somebody's asking, is it free? It's not free. So the trainer skills assessment is $15 when you take the exam, and it is required to proceed to the Google Certified Trainer program. So before taking the trainer skills assessment, what I would normally ask people to do is to make sure that they've taken the trainer course. So there is a trainer course similar to the coach program that Bonnie has showed a while ago. There is a trainer course that is going to be available to you in the teacher center. So go through that course before you take the exam. So that's in that way, you can be sure that you know what's going to be covered in the trainer skills assessment. And also just note that for the trainer skills assessment, this is not really about what you know about Google Workspace for Education. This is really about how you teach, right? How you train. This is about adult learning. This is about understanding how to deploy technologies out there. And I'm going to show you the course in a minute. So the fourth one would be a 3-minute video. This is where people get stumped more often than not. And like what Bonnie said a while ago, it doesn't have to be super duper fancy. It can be simple. I remember uh, I applied to the certified trainer program before it was the trainer program. We had to take so many exams. We had to take 5 exams. We had to submit 2 videos, and you have a separate video for yourself. You have a separate video where you're going through the demo. So now that we have changed this, it's now a lot tighter. You just need a 3-minute video. Just note, make it under 3 minutes, because after 3 minutes, once you hit that 3-minute peg, the person that's watching is just going to stop watching. So if you have your messaging at the end of the 3 minutes, like after the 3 minutes, nobody's going to listen to it, because the thing there is you're just going to have to stop watching after 3 minutes. Okay, so whoever's reviewing that video, you're going to have to make sure that you're under that limit. Okay, and the other thing is make sure that that video is viewable to everybody. That's the most common mistake as well, is that sometimes they make it private and they forget that the link is not public or the link is not unlisted. So make sure that it is viewable to everybody. And that goes to that's similar to the last one, which is the training sessions and the case study. As you can see, we require 5 training engagements. And what we normally do is have 5 training engagements and choose one of the training engagements and use that as a case study. Okay, make sure that these engagements have feedback. The case study, you will need to include the feedback of your trainers, because that will be included in your case study. There are various ways of making this or crafting this, but you're going to need to understand like what the problem was and what did you do to solve it, what sort of training did you administer to that group in order to solve whatever problem it is that they're trying to solve, like I said. So make sure that there's feedback and the feedback is positive. So try to choose a case study that highlights your talents, as a trainer as well. Just make sure that you have that. Now for the L2s out there, while you're studying for your trainer assessment, start volunteering for, say, your own GEGs. I know a lot of you are probably members of your own GEGs. Start volunteering for those, or maybe even in your own schools. If you want to start training and you need to know where to find these sessions, ask me. You can send me an email. I have Franco knows my email address, or even send Franco an email and I can just definitely help you. and throw you to the schools that will need it. So if you're looking for opportunities to train people, the opportunities are out there. Every single school right now is looking for professional development. Every school right now is looking to improve on their Google skills, especially the schools that are already on the Google Workspace for Education platform, right? So there's no shortage of people to train and schools to help. The only thing is you need to find time for it. So here goes. As easy as this 5 step method is to submit a training application to become a certified trainer, I find that a lot of people would go through L1 and L2 and then go through the trainer assessment and pass it and then fail to submit their application. They would be stumped in the video, they'd be stumped in the training sessions. And again, make sure that your case study is viewable, because once it's not viewable, then you're out. Basically, you're not going to get the Google certified trainer badge. You're not going to get approved. So make sure that all of these are viewable by whoever is going to be reviewing it. Okay. There. So that's your that's it's actually quite easy in when I say it. It's not as easy in practice because one, you have to find those 5 training sessions first. Like what Bonnie said earlier, it's nice that she was able to cover like artifacts, because you can use training sessions that you've done in the past. Just make sure that it's the recent past and not like long ago, like in a galaxy far, far away. Do not, please don't use that. Use the ones that you just did recently, okay? Because that would be that those are all gonna be applicable for this. So once again, we have the level 1, the level 2, the skills assessment, and I think Franco, I'm giving away. Um, should I say it now? Well, I shouldn't say it yet. Is it you? You're supposed to be the one to say it. Okay, I'll wait for you because I don't know what your um, giveaway mechanics are. I think you have giveaway mechanics. And my giveaway, guys. There. So if you are already doing that, good. If you're working on your video, I saw that somebody's already working on their video. Great. If you're working on your video, find somebody to get eyes on it. Like I said, go to Google, hashtag Google ET would be our hashtag for Google Education Trainer. Again, that's hashtag Google ET for you to find trainers that will be willing to look at your video and helping you out with your case study. So finally, just track your progress. Okay, I have a checklist that I use, and it's just a spreadsheet that you can use to track your progress. Like, where am I in this whole process? So you can just request for it. And yes, thanks so much, Bonnie, for that. So you can just request for the trainer checklist. Just go to bit.ly. I'm just gonna ask Franco to just flash it on the screen in a banner. So I'm putting it in the private chat. So just request for that, and I'll make sure to. Once you fill that out, I want to see who are the interested people or who are the interested parties that want to become Google certified trainers, because I really want to be able to support this community later on. I have we don't have certified coaches yet, and I'm really wishing that somebody would apply as a certified coach. I'm so excited about that. For certified innovators, we have a few certified innovators in the country and they're doing great stuff. But for the certified trainer program, we have too few for the amount of work that we need. So I really would like to encourage you. We have 223 schools divisions in the country. We have 47,000 schools. We have 22 million students in the K-12 public education space. So just thinking about that, and about 880,000 teachers in the public school K-12 system, can you just imagine the amount of work that is required to train all of that? And right now, we have less than 50 trainers in the Philippines. We need more. All right. So if you need any help at all with putting together your trainer requirements, please let me know. I'll be willing to help you. Franco is here. The Kaagapay teacher support is right here for you as well. We've got professional development partners. We've got your GEGs to help you. GEG Philippines is here to help you as well with any questions that you might have. So magtanong lang. Walang masama magtanong. Again, there's No problem at all. Just ask your questions and we'll be there to help you out. Okay, so there. So Franco, there. Thank you so much for putting that down there. I thought you will just flash it. Thank you for running it as a ticker. All right, so thank you. That's it for the trainer program. Oh, I'm gonna have to let you know what are the perks of being a certified trainer. The lead for certified trainer is somebody that drinks coffee every day. Like she doesn't sleep. So her name's Meiju, and she's the most amazing ever lead that I've ever seen. And she's so amazing that she's provided perks for our Google certified trainers. She's provided a way for us to connect to each other as a trainer community. And it keeps growing. So, guys, if you become a certified trainer, you do get some perks. And these perks extend to the certified coach program and extends to the certified innovator program as well. And and these perks are for edtech partnerships. So I know that you use different edtech tools, such as what we're using right now. We're using StreamYard. We use many different other tools to video edit. Maybe we use tools to create books or to author books. All of these, we've already made partnerships around that. So, yes. And of course, the community. I love that, Bonnie. Thank you so much for that. There. So I'll just open the floor now to all three of you. If you have any questions or comments around the trainer program. Because Bonnie is a trainer too, right? Oh, Franco is a trainer too.
Syempre, surprise tayo dun sa trainer skills assessment vouchers ni Miss Mary. But teachers now will be announcing how we're going to distribute. No? And again, we thank Miss Mary for the support. Okay? It's been, again, this will go a long way in helping our teachers. Okay? That's because the fee for the skills assessment is not something that you can easily get. That's still like a $15 trainer skills assessment payment. And with that, Miss Mary, no, it will definitely make use of it. We're going to sell it to the, not pala, no, not sell. We're going to give it for free to our aspiring Filipino Google certified trainers. And again, Miss Mary, we have already like couple of L2s already going through the skills assessment. So far on my tally, we already have like 4 who have passed their skills. And again, as mentioned by Miss Mary earlier, the challenge is that how we go beyond that, because that's usually what's we can do. No, and the step 4 and 5 are usually where we get stuck, and we have to be able to clear that away. And again, as mentioned by Miss Mary, we'll be here. We can like give feedback to your videos, help you construct with your videos, etc. And again, we'll put up like resources for you to use in coming up with your trainer's application. Okay, so we need
Super exciting.
many. Yes, Miss Mary, would you care to share how many Google certified trainers are we targeting? That
Yeah, so we've got so right now we've got 223 divisions. So we have to target 223, right?
yeah.
That's
So
that's the target. So
we need at
I'm
least
not sure.
200 more.
Yeah, just about.
At least 200.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a big ask, I know, but we're a
Yeah,
big
that's
country. We can do
right,
it.
that's doable, right, Bonnie? That's doable. Okay. Like Teacher Pa will be getting coaching program and then trainers program at the same time. So
Would
that's
like to say
one.
Wow.
program completely free. Just saying, completely free. As
Yes,
long as you're level 1, level 2.
actually. So this will now be like your choice, teachers. No, but again, whichever program you're going to go to, definitely will change your life. It's a life changing experience. Okay,
Yeah,
so
we
teachers, you
can
might
them
have
all.
like questions, okay, for Miss Bonnie and Miss Mary while they're no. Suddenly, I'm confused. So one of the viewers now, Sir Alvin, suddenly I became confused. I think it's because right now, again, no, Miss Mary, I already mentioned this to Miss Mary, that all definitely these programs are excellent, but there's sometimes many of our teachers no, are not well aware of these programs, and I think this session right now no, brought to the surface, and and to the consciousness of the Filipino educators, that there's something beyond the Google certified educators certification. Okay, so at least you know now. That's a good problem, Teacher Alvin. Okay, that's a problem we would like. That
Yeah.
you'll
Yes.
have a lot of choices, a lot of things
Agree.
to talk about. So yeah, so Sir Alvin. Actually, Sir Alvin was determined to become a trainer at first. Okay, but earlier he shifted to Innovator, and right now coach. So it's now confused about which one he's going to take. So good luck on decision making, Teacher Alvin. But again, I'm sure, Teacher Alvin, whichever track you're going to choose, that's definitely going to benefit you and your community. That's no, Teacher Miss Mary and Miss Bonnie, Teacher Pau. It's actually the community that will benefit from whichever
Yes.
track you're
Definitely.
going to get into.
Definitely.
Whatever training you're going to get.
Just think
Okay.
about what you like to do. I think that's what you should do first. Like, do first what you like doing already. Like, don't
Yes.
go for example, you want to be coach because that's already something that you like to do. Like, you're, or maybe you're a coordinator already in your school and you want to learn a little bit more, you want to upskill, and the certified coach program is such a great program for that. Let's say you're already training other teachers, and this, I've been working with a lot of public school teachers in the edtech unit right now in DepEd. I met them all today. I met them all this morning for the first time, and they train teachers every single day in webinars, face to face. They actually go to different places to train, but none of them are Google certified trainers. But they train on Google Workspace, and they were able to certify about 800 teachers.
Wow.
Just that team of 18 people. But none of them are Google certified trainers. See, like, those people are already doing the work.
Mhm.
So they just, the badge is just a badge for them now. They just have to go through this process. So again, whatever it is that's closest to your heart and that you're already doing, I think that's what you should gun for.
I think too, people think they have to be training like 100 people at a time. That's not the case. But when I applied for trainer, I was at a school, maybe the biggest I'd done was, 30 people. I prefer smaller groups because I feel like you really get, more done. But obviously Franco, trains 1,000 people at a time, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to be Franco. You can be just a regular person. So don't think you have to get like huge numbers, to apply.
That's right.
In
I mean,
context,
training 5 people
Bonnie,
is okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bonnie, in context, because it's a pandemic, so I'll have to do it virtually. But if it's a face to face, I would definitely have trained like smaller number. I think the pandemic gave me that opportunity to reach out to many people.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, Miss Mary has something to say.
No, I'm good.
No, okay.
So I just want to say good
Me-
luck to everybody. Like, if you're here and you want to go through all of these programs, good luck, and you have my support. Like I said earlier, you have my support. You have Google support. I'm right here, and all you have to do is to just. I saw some people adding me on Facebook already. I'm not a Facebook person per se, but if you want to really reach me, you have to add me on Google Chat because my Google Chat is on all the time.
Wow.
Yeah. I never mute it, but I mute
yes,
everything else. So yeah. All right.
personal
So
experience.
personal
There's
experience,
a
Frank.
there's a de- yeah there's a delay with if it's Messenger, but if it's Google Chat, like before you even send it in Google Chat, she has a reply already. And that's how fast she's in Google Chat. And I think it's again, we are not promoting, but we're just saying that Google Chat is an amazing personal messaging tool for our
Mhm.
teachers. Okay. Teacher Pao, any reactions so far, or are you as
Um,
confused as the others as well, or now you're like you're more determined than ever?
well, actually, when Miss Mary has mentioned the need in the Philippines, I would, I mean, this webinar actually opened my eyes to an opportunity given to a lot of teachers, because I know a lot of teachers would want to do something about what is happening right now. And it's very it's an opportune time for us. I mean, presenting all of these. This is a perfect way, to instill change. I've already seen the chat box. People already have things in mind. I'm sure if you're just watching there, you already have a set of skills which you think you can probably share either to a small group of people, or you want to help your co-teachers if you are that adept in technical skills, or you want to create a or find a solution to an existing problem. I think this is a very good opportunity for us to embrace. This is, I think, a very promising project for the Philippines, I would say, to to have that opportunity. Given that we have 223 divisions, right, Miss Mary?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I even took that down, 223, and we still lack trainers. So, yeah, I'm what inspired
Cover.
to invite
Yes.
people, but along with inviting them, I myself have to upskill also. That's why I told Franco I had to buy the voucher so that I'm forced to do the exam. And when I actually did the exam, you know, it's there. And it's like you're still learning. Even if you're taking the exam, you're still learning. And you get to see a lot of things. So for those who are still not yet GCE 1 or GCE 2, please do so. Not for the badge, but for the
Great.
things that you can actually do with those tools, with the different apps. And because I'm going back to teaching, I'm already thinking how I can use this in my classes as well. Start small. I'll definitely start small. And from Bonnie, I will fail forward.
It's hard. It's a
Yes,
hard
that's what
Yes,
I'll
process
learn.
Bonnie,
to learn.
our community already embraced that hashtag after the talk on design thinking. If I'm mistaken, Teacher Pau, it's from the design thinking session that we
Mhm.
that Bonnie mentioned that, and from then
That's
on,
where
it
that's
actually
where
Yes.
I started with
yes, it
design
actually
thinking.
became a full webinar, Bonnie. If you
Mhm.
Feel
That's actually
forward.
one of the titles of our webinar last time on constructing
That's good.
evaluating instrument for
Yeah.
evaluation for distance learning. We call it fail forward webinar.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of
Mm-hmm.
Bonnie, like message or to
I
address
put
our
a link to my slides. I don't know if it came up because like StreamYard is weird, but I'll put it in quotes. But like, don't. I think people just get hung up on making the video. Like, don't overthink it. Just make your video. It doesn't have to be. Now, I googled Google certified educator like trainer video. Would do that. Like, I would would reach out to somebody because there are people who made this like super elaborate videos and it's very intimidating. Or maybe just don't click on those. Like, look and look at the normal ones, because it can be really really intimidating. But yeah, just make your video. I think that's where everybody I know gets hung up. And I did too. Took me way longer to make the video than I thought because I just got nervous. But just make the video and submit it. So in under 3 minutes, she was right. They're not listening after 3 minutes. It's hard.
yes,
It's hard to
no
do it
need
in 3 minutes.
for like professional editing. It's really the content. It's really the
Yeah.
content that they're going
Yeah,
to.
I never edited mine. We were down to like a minute before, 1 minute to introduce, which is a separate video then, and then just 2 minutes for the. Now they've combined it into one video, which is great. It gives you a lot more time.
Yeah.
I think shorten your introduction and then lengthen a little bit of the style that you have. Just put your personality in there. I think I didn't do any fancy tricks or any fancy things in my
Mm-mm.
video either. I just used Screencastify for my for to teach something,
Mhm.
which I find to be a really good demo slam. So I thought to myself, this is a demo slam, and I'm gonna put my personality in here. So I went all out demo slam style for my
Yep.
for my video, but no bells and whistles. Just
Mm-mm.
hi, my name's Mary, and and I just launched into why I think I should be a trainer, and then did
Yeah.
the demo. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, you don't have to be
So
super
don't like
fancy.
yeah. Don't be overwhelmed and don't get
Mhm.
I guess
too
that's
conscious on the video editing and yeah, that's correct. Although I
yeah.
made
Yeah.
myself my trainer fancy one because by that time there are like other tools available for us. But I also made sure that my content is like within the standards, okay, of what the application is requiring. Okay, I think for me personally, the last message I like to tell to our teachers that um, we are all actually coach, innovator, and trainer at already at one point. That's already been being mentioned over and over again by Miss Mary and Miss Bonnie, and even Teacher Pao. We are already doing the things that are required of all these applications. But what I really think what these programs will do for you is going to focus your efforts because the trainers program will teach you more strategies, more more fluency in delivering training programs. Okay? The innovators program will make sure that you actually know what you're solving and how you're going to solve it. Okay? The coaching program will tell you a more definite model for coaching. So whatever you're doing right now, it's just going to like super streamline it to make it more efficient and more effective. That's what I think these programs will do for you. But again, as far as I know, all our teachers are at one point coach. We have been coaching other teachers. We have been training other teachers as well in a small scale or large scale aspect. And also as an innovator, we have been solving, I think, the pandemic challenges in so many ways that we have to come up with so many solutions. So right there in your closet, there are definitely the artifacts you're looking for. But still, I encourage everyone to go through these programs because it's going to make sure that your efforts and your skills are more in line with what you're doing. So with that, again, Miss Mary, Bonnie, thank you again for gracing Kaagape Teacher Support's page. And we always value your time. We know how busy Bonnie's from a different time zone, and Mary is always at work. And again, she's not also sleeping like Meiju. She's the equivalent of Meiju in the Philippines right now in terms of what she's doing. And just imagine what she's aiming for the Philippines and the vision by Miss Mary. And it's really hard work. And we always appreciate and value I haven't got a no yet no from Miss Mary. I will still have to wait for that time that Miss Mary will say I know
Don't
to
worry,
to
it will
us.
happen soon.
So we'll wait for that. But so far we're lucky to have always a yes from Miss Mary. But I always time my ask my questions for Miss Mary around in the late midnight so that she's a little bit confused and she would always say yes. So that's a technique I always get. So, so if you want to ask favor from Miss Mary, message her around like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. and you'll get a like positive response. So anyway, teachers,
Um,
thank you.
you had one
Teacher Pao also.
question
Go ahead,
about
Bonnie.
what kind of
Ay,
demo. There's a question in the chat, or what
okay.
kind of demo or what specific app. And demo, it's like 2 minutes. You just have to show like a quick way of using a tool. Like I just use Google Keep with Docs and like how easy it is. And there is no specific app. It just needs to be like a Google tool. You're showing why you're googly, if you will.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes, correct. That's what they have to show in their video for the trainers, if I remember it
Mhm.
correctly, how googly you are. So you'll have
Mhm.
to use a Google tool. So again, we've been using it already. So just have to showcase how you're using it.
Nothing crazy,
Of
just
course,
something simple.
yeah, for innovators, you'll have to show a project, like, a project idea.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Yes.
I think that would be it. I think there are no more. I think it's all messages of things and what they're trying to get into right now. So again, thank you so much to all the viewers who have joined us today. And hopefully we'll see you again for the updates for the trainer skills assessment vouchers. Please wait for that at our Kaagapay teacher support page and also Google Educators Group San Juan page, okay, for the announcement for the distribution of the trainer skills assessment and all other details. Some people are already asking on if we're going to have sort of like assistance as well for the trainers program. Yes, but it will be announced in our both of our pages in Google Educators Group San Juan and also Kaagapay Teacher Support page. So you wait for the updates in our pages. Okay. So thank you again, teachers, and have a nice evening. And thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure to share with you these wonderful opportunities for professional.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good
Thank
night.
you.